Technicolor print of Albert Lamoricie's The Red Balloon. 35-minute movie made in 1936. It stars his son. Albert, at the time, was 34 years old, and his 6-year-old son stars in it, and his little 2.5-year-old sister makes an appearance too. I'm going to run just selected scenes. It's on 16mm film. Now, quick history of the print. I purchased this print in the late 70s from David Grossman, who ran the Temple University Cinematheque. He had combined 2 Technicolor prints to get this one, so he got as many frames as possible to make this as complete as possible on film. With the exception of the first 3 or 4 foot, which is in Eastman color, and then an added end title at the end, which is Eastman color. Everything else is dye transfer Technicolor. They haven't printed dye transfer for many, many years. There's 2 prints involved here, a Technicolor print made in the 60s and another one that was printed in the late 50s. And so there's pretty much no frames missing. There are a few splices here and there, but only where the 2 prints are joined together. And I've cleaned it, I have it on a new reel, and it is fully complete from one end to the other. Originally in 1956, there was no end title. It just goes to black. And you'll see a short end title from the distributor that released this for rental uses in the, I guess it was the early 60s when they started renting it out. A lot of people have seen it on schools. They had it as an episode on, I think, GE Theater once that was introduced by Ronald Reagan, no doubt. Here's something neat. This won an Academy Award for Best Screenplay, but there are virtually no lines of dialogue in the movie. The screenplay was, in fact, the beautiful way the film was created. Just an unbelievable film. Remember, these are highlights from the film. I'm going to run you the whole beginning of the film, and then we are going to switch over. Then you'll see some cuts and I'll show you the highlights of the movie. This has an extraordinary soundtrack too. Beautiful music track. This first part is Eastman, and then it will switch right to the tech. You'll see the big change. There we go. Now we're in Technicolor. The opening titles are very blasé. There's not much color. Very unusual to make a Technicolor short subject too back then. Now there are some printing blotches from the Cyan Technicolor lab right there, and they disappear. They're only in the very beginning. After some research on this film, the stairway he comes down here is no longer there, but there's shots of Paris that just don't exist anymore. David told me that he used this footage because the other print was loaded with splices. It's a very drab pastel look to it at first. Uh-oh. That little boy is in big trouble. This is what they used to do to kids. They lock them into a room, a closet. Uh-oh. The balloon is mad. That's his sister. Interesting how everyday life continues around the drama. The woman lets the little boy pass, but she blocks those boys. Still plenty of battery, right?
Yep.
exactly how it was released. What a remarkable movie. And you get it on a nice reel. Got leader, it's ready to run. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it. Albert Lamorisse also went, in addition to making movies, can you believe he designed the board game Risk for Parker Brothers? Unbelievable. This guy wasn't busy enough to make motion pictures with his family. And he passed away in a helicopter crash in 1970 while he was filming yet another movie at only 48 years old. So we lost a great filmmaker, but here's a chance for you to own a classic movie on film, never fade, dye transfer, Technicolor. We hope you win the bid. One of the most remarkable endings.